Huge breaking story coming in from a United correspondent for the ESPN, that is Rob Dawson, concerning Onana, and Erik ten Hag has now finally gone ahead to really contemplate on really dropping him from the starting 11 of Manchester United. Welcome to United Matters channel. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rock and David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rock and David is my name. You can as well call me Haradi. We are discussing Sunderland, obviously keeping in touch with Man United and Amad Diallo, and obviously it's Dalot exposing Cristiano Ronaldo on the words that he really went ahead to say when he really left Manchester United. Smash the like button close to 200 times. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, let's start it off with a story coming in from a United correspondent, and that is Rob Dawson of the ESPN, as far as this Onana situation is taking course or unfolding at the club of Manchester United. He has told us that Erik ten Hag is open to making a change in goal if Onana's form doesn't improve. Manchester United coaches reminded Onana to take up more aggressive positions to make the target smaller when opposition attackers are closing down on goal. They also went ahead to add that Manchester United are working with Onana to help him become better with errors when they come, as well as on the technical side of his game, including stabilizing his feet more quickly to help with shots aimed low and around his body. Now, this is a story that many United fans will obviously want to hear, and it's one of those stories that really coming through to obviously put Onana into the best shape possible, and obviously issuing him the last warning coming in from the gaffer. And when you look at Man United, we're gonna hate to concede very many goals. In the Champions League, we've gonna hate to concede 5. In the Premier League, I think we've gonna hate to concede 13, because 2 against Spurs, 2 against Nottingham Forest, those are 4, 3 against Arsenal, and 3 against Brighton, those are 10. Then one against the side Brentford, those are 11 goals. When you add on the 5, 16 goals conceded by the club of Manchester United. And it shows you that in all the games we're gonna hate to lose, Onana had the part to play, and he obviously let the club down. That's why the technical team of Man United, headed by Erik ten Hag, is obviously considering to drop Onana. I understand there is a cause for him to be dropped, but the big question is, will he really be dropped? That is the big question. But this story comes in through to obviously give you hope, especially those that hate Onana, because for my case, I don't see Erik ten Hag dropping Onana, not even for a second. I'm not saying this happen. Why? Onana was bought for £50 million, right? And he's the first choice goalkeeper of Manchester United. However much there is been a year, and Erik ten Hag might be considering him to obviously coming through, I don't see him benching Onana. Ten Hag will insist playing him in between the stitches for as long as this player is obviously still playing on, or as long as this player is still fit to play for the club of Manchester United. That is it. So I find it naive for anyone coming in through and obviously trying to believe this story. It's coming in from a United correspondent, that is Rob Dawson, ESPN, but I don't really believe in it because I don't see something so much credible about it. It's a story that comes in through to obviously aim at those United fans and other media guys that have gone ahead obviously coming through and really launch an agenda onto Onana on his would have been saves that have gone ahead to cost Manchester United very many goals this season. Obviously, if you're Man United, you would have gone ahead to know that in the league, when you're playing teams like Brighton, have gone ahead to do better. Crystal Palace would have gone ahead to do better. Brighton and very many others. He would have gone ahead to do better to stop us from obviously losing these games. But Andre Onana has gone ahead to obviously keep us into the position of a loss. So I understand, but this is a pressure-reducing tactic by the technical board of Manchester United, because they want to obviously paint a picture in public that the manager has also gone ahead to agree with them that Andre Onana is making mistakes. But we've seen Erik ten Hag not dropping some players out of his team. For example, Anthony is one of those players that he doesn't deserve to play 80 minutes or 70, but we've seen him play very many games past the hour mark. And that shows you how Erik ten Hag is so much loyal to his players he signs. That is it. So, for Andre Onana, it's not obviously going to go on well to us, who the fans believe that maybe a change should be made. But when you look at Erik ten Hag, you also don't blame him, because you know that one of the positions that doesn't change when it comes to the game of football is the goalkeeping department. You are having two goalkeepers. One knows that is the first choice, and the other one knows that is the second choice goalkeeper. No need for him to obviously come in through and obviously think that maybe he's a second choice. The second choice needs to know that the first choice goalkeeper is there, and he needs to do his backup role very, very well. So Ben Dayer is a very good goalkeeper, but I want to let you know that in the game you're going to play against Sheffield, it's going to be Andre Onana. Copenhagen is going to be Andre Onana. Man City, it's going to be Andre Onana. So unless otherwise Andre Onana performs poorly in those three games, that's when Ten Hag will obviously think of really dumping him. But if we happen to be winning those games, even if he concedes stupid goals, Ten Hag won't obviously bench this player, because this signing was made by him. It was recommended by him. It's the one who told the board not to give David De Gea a new contract, because he believes he's building a team that wants to be playing from the back. And guess what happened? David De Gea was thrown under the bus, and Andre Onana came in through. But with the pressure at Manchester United, Andre Onana is failing to settle in. The technical department, the goalkeeping department, is doing its job to see to it that they obviously make him fit well and obviously read the game well by making the saves that should be made and not crossing his goal line. But I think it's still a long way to go, because we are really a team that is still having lots of problems to solve. And last season, one of the strong departments we had was the goalkeeping department. David De Gea pulled out lots of saves, but for Andre Onana, he's obviously costing us. But for us who know the history of Man United, we obviously know that it's not easy to be a Manchester United goalkeeper. Fabian Barthez faced it, Ben Foster faced it, Tim Howard faced it, Chris Jacques, Andy Carroll, and very many others faced it. Even David De Gea, who has gone ahead to really be one of the best goalkeepers in the club's history, also faced it. But with time, he obviously went ahead to hit the ground running. And I think Ten Hag is not going to drop Andre Onana. He's not going to drop him. I know most of you are going to be happy when you see this story, but I don't see him dropped by Erik ten Hag, because Ten Hag needs to defend this man. He's the one who spent that. He's the one who ordered the board to make that huge signing and spend £50 million on him. But it's obviously going to fire back, if at all it costs us the games and the job of Erik ten Hag. So that is it concerning Andre Onana to be dropped, and your thoughts onto that are welcome in the comment section below, because he is obviously doing what he's not supposed to be doing. Now, let's go to Amad Diallo. This week, Amad Diallo went ahead obviously post onto his socials that he's soon getting back, and it's rumored that after the national break, he'll be doing some grass work very, very soon. That is Amad Diallo. But we've had a story that has been reported by Mark Douglas, Northern football correspondent, And you know where Sunderland comes in from, meaning that this guy, Mark Douglas, is obviously one of the close sources to Sunderland. And as told us that Sunderland continue to hold a good relationship with Man United and are interested in Amad Diallo if he's available for a loan move in January. That is it. I don't think Amad Diallo is going to be available for a loan move in January because with Sancho already fighting to leave the club of Manchester United and Erik ten Hag not willing to get him back, that shows you that we'll be left with only one player who is really quite ready to play in the first team as a right winger, and that is Anthony. The other one would have been Mason Greenwood, but Mason Greenwood is obviously playing for Getafe and not allowed to come back to Man United. Sancho would have gone ahead to play there. Pelestri can also play there, and the only player that is left with the left foot is Amad Diallo. You know, Pelestri can play there very well, but he's a right-footed player. And for Erik ten Hag, he wants his team to be having balance onto the right attacking side of the midfield. And that's why he goes in for none other than Anthony. Now, when Amad Diallo returns, I think he's going to have to prove enough to the manager that is ready to do his job and play it well in that red jersey of Manchester United. So Sunderland might obviously want to go on and see to it that they really get this player back. No chance for him to go back to the Championship, having gone ahead to score 14 goals and being named the youngest player of the Championship. You get? So, and I think he was voted the fans player of the Championship. That is Amad Diallo. Very much exciting when he really had his spell there. Even if there will be chance for him to be loaned, I think there are Premier League teams that are willing to obviously take him. Luton Town, Burnley, Everton. So these teams are readily available to sign him as a player of Manchester United on loan to see to it that he completes his loan. So I don't see any reason that is going to see this man loaned back to the Championship. I think his era in the Championship came to an end, and have to admit that this player is beyond playing for the Championship. And if it wasn't the injury, he would have gone ahead to get a chance to play for this club of Man United, put pressure or pile pressure onto Anthony. And even when Anthony was having problems for the girlfriend, and Sancho also went ahead to obviously get suspended by the club of Manchester United, there was a huge gap for him to play, and there was a chance for him to play, but he had gotten an injury when United was playing Arsenal in America. That is Amad Diallo for you. But we pray to it that he gets back and starts to fight for his position at the club of Manchester United. That is Jadon Sancho for you. And I believe he's obviously going to come in through and put in a shift that will obviously will come in. And Amad Diallo is a very good player that deserves a chance to kick a ball at Manchester United, and I don't see him go to Sunderland. If at all you believe like me, you can as well go ahead and obviously tell me what you think about it. But if at all you have a different narrative altogether, you can as well tell me what you think about it in the comment section below. Do you think Amad Diallo is going to stay at Man United when he returns from injury, or is going to be loaned back to Sunderland? And remember, November is the month for him to return, meaning he's going to be playing some good games for Man United in December. But remember, there's the African Cup of Nations that is going to see him play for his country, because Ivory Coast is going to be hosting the AFCON down in Africa. That is in January. So pray to it that he might use that AFCON to obviously get back to full match fitness. And by the time he returns to the club of Man United, he'll be really ready to take on his mantle. Now, Ronaldo, who was one of those players when he left Man United, when he said to Piers Morgan that nowadays players spend most of their times on phone, especially the young players. They don't want to listen, you know. They don't want to pay attention to detail. That's what he really went ahead to say. But Diego Dalot went ahead to capture him doing this. And he was on his phone, and Diego Dalot captioned on his Instagram story that this new generation always on phone at Cristiano. That's what Dalot went ahead to obviously say. And this will be one of the quotations of Ronaldo that he put out on his interview with Piers Morgan, that went ahead not to sound well in the ears of the young players, because this generation, obviously phones are the ish thing that you have to obviously go on and obviously live with. Social media is really unavoidable, and he was also captured on his phone trying to see what social media is trying to talk about him. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Tell me your thoughts about Ten Hag to drop Andrew Onana, Amad Diallo situation, and Dalot exposing Ronaldo. I sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu fikum. I'm out. See you when you see me in the next 2-3 hours from now. Bye bye.